Oh, wow. I'm going to make a huge prediction here that the Ancient Gods will get a soundtrack sometime in the future, and here is why I think it is, and here is what I'm going to think about it. So, David Levy, that's hours ago, breaking news, released a studio reel of different concepts from a fully studio mixed album. This is the type of thing that he might put on a resume, show studios what he's done, so he can show like, hey, I worked on Doom Eternal, here's what this sounds like, to show what he's capable of. Now, what really interests me about that is that we knew he had high quality studio works, right? I mean, he's a composer, he had to make them somehow. But to have this video released out, showing the public like, hey, this is what I made in a high quality, and to have it up on a reel like this makes me wonder what is coming in the future. Now, we know that there was a bit of a controversy with the original OST, and we've had some delays on that, but with this, there really is no legal red tape that we're aware of. Mostly, it seems like everything sounds and looks great. You know, no issues with Andrew, none with David, so maybe that will not be a barrier to having the OST, because honestly, I think that is what is stopping it. That's a whole other thing. Now, when we look at the differences in a studio mix like this versus a game rip, it's so much different. With a game rip, and you can hear in the background here, with a game rip, everything is compressed together. You see what I mean? All of the sounds have to mix up and compete with the game noises, so you can hear those like your grenades and make sure that you're not going to lose track in game. Well, with this, everything is given its own space to breathe. So instead of all the instruments being in this one clump trying to get you to hear them, the guitar is here, the bass is here, the drums are here, the synth is here, and they all get space to listen and breathe. The synth is also a little heavier and more out on this album here, and there are little things that you can hear that you don't get in the game soundtrack. And even if you would only play with music only on the game soundtrack, look at the vibing cat. Even if you only play with music on the game soundtrack, there are still little things, little sounds and noises and mix that you can hear in this that you can't hear in that. I'll actually give you some examples here to show you what I mean, how much better this is. I listened to this at least twice in my car today on the way home just to get a feel so I could prepare for this video, and my mind was blown when I first heard it because the audio quality is so much better. Like the guitars punch through the rhythm more, the guitars just punch through a lot, the synth is more prevalent, the shouts from the metal choir, you can hear things in them that you never heard before. Everything is such a high quality audio. So you know what? Let's actually go through and check out points in this just to show you what I mean. This is well worth a listen. So right from the get-go, let's do a review right now. A reaction review. Listen to this. You hear how all the instruments have their own space and they're not all fighting with each other. The guitars are out in the open. They are the main instrument that providing the riff for this track to be heard. So naturally, it's right there in your face instead of being mixed together to have to compete against the sounds of the game and everything else. But what else? Same instance here. The synth is so driving and upfront. That's a pretty good little teaser, isn't it? That you can really hear the main melody. My favorite part, one of my favorite parts is coming up next. I want you to pay attention. Get your ears ready. Makes you just want to throw a chair, doesn't it? So the choir, if you noticed, we'll actually play it back at lower volume to speak over it. The choir is much more refined. In the game, you hear the voices going rip and tear, and it's hype and you're fighting. But when you really isolate everything, all the instruments, the compression, like I mentioned, and you put each one in its own sonic area, you hear the rip and tear a lot more clear. You also hear higher, like a higher pitch of them. The high-pitched metal screaming, you hear it layered in with the regular. You don't get that in the game because it's all so close together. It's so good. Oh man, look at this. I was hoping the synth lead would be on this one, but check it out. Listen to the synth. Again. That's the main melody there, and it's there in the game, but you don't pay attention to it to this degree. It's so much more clear and nice. And listen to the chugs. We'll go a little bit ahead. The cat makes it. But all of the rhythms, they don't have to fight each other anymore. They don't have to worry about having game sound to compete against. The synth is right up front. I know people are going to love that one. Listen right here. That deserves a pause from everything, because that section right there, I listened to this on the way home. It has an ascending, just way up, way high, that you hear in Meat Hook. And you do not hear that in the game. You might not hear it on iPhone or Android speakers, but listen again real quick, and you appreciate the music more when you realize everything that's gone into it, and you can really see it play out on the full stage. Check it. Here it comes. That is a crazy build-up, and you don't get that in the game. Listen to the crowd. That little part, the da-na-na, 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 that doesn't get love in the main game. I mean, I'm sure maybe it does, but here it is the forefront. It's the main instrument that you're wanting to listen to right there. So that's super good. Let's go on. You have almost a Metallica 1-esque bass kick, and the synthesizers really... They come through. The synthesizers push out so much more. The voices are another MVP of this, because they don't stop. They give you all of the range, the highs, the mids, lows, everything gets to come through. All those wow, 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 all those synth stuff. Listen. It all makes a point to be here. We gotta do it. Too good. Everything just has its own area to breathe and let you listen to each instrument and what it tries to do and what it deserves to do, and it doesn't have to fight for game audio or compression or just like a smaller file size, how images get compressed on social media. It has room to breathe, and I love that for it. Be sure to become a channel member if you want to support the channel and what we do here. My name is Allstin. Thank you so much for watching, and I have no idea what some of these recommendations are. I appreciate everything from you. Thank you.